So there's been a couple of things that's been going on lately. I'll be talking about a few things. Mainly, this is an issue that's been going on for about almost a month now regarding to a Netflix show. I'm pretty sure you guys have already been knowing of this said show that recently got released on Netflix called Cuties. It's actually this movie slash documentary or whatever of these teenage little girls shaking their asses on camera. I'm gonna let you know that shit's fucking wrong, right? And I think everyone in here who's listening can agree. Shit like that should be, burned to hell on any level. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is for. If you're having little girls shake her ass, even in a movie, it's just no. It's just a fucking no. So the whole point is that this actress is this little girl is 11. Everyone in this little group is 11. The director of this movie, her name is Memona Dukuri. Uh, I'm I'm bad with French translation. Someone help me out in the comic section. This director has made this movie based off of her past experiences, so she claims. And how is it to be a young pre-adolescent girl, and what are the dangers of being such said pre-adolescent female and doing said harmful things? So, however, she went by this way of demonstrating that was too far off the fucking rails. She tried her best, okay, but at some point in time, you should have realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't have fucking 11-year-old girls shaking their asses on fucking camera. Have you ever thought that that was a good thing? No, it's not a good thing. You're an adult. I'm an adult. You know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. So why would you fucking do it? Memona, you're a fucking dumbass. Sure, yeah, talk about your life, whatever. Why don't you just make a written documentary and just have like your face on the camera just talking about your problems? Is it that hard? No, but no, you have to make a whole group with a bunch of like 5 or 6 11-year-old females shaking their asses in shorts, talking to boys that are probably 16 and blowing up condoms and shit like that. I don't know what went into that mindset that thinking that shit's okay. I will call that exploitation. In fact, I would say that's exploiting minors and doing things they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I would even argue that minors do deserve even juvenile time themselves if they're having sex with an adult, because I think it has you have to have a mindset to do said things, to do exactly that. You have to have the mindset to have sex. You have to have the cognitive ability. And for the people who don't and gets manipulated anyway, people who are special ed, people who have Down syndrome, just anything that's gonna ruin your brain functionality, a birth defect even, I feel bad for you and I'm sorry. But for the people who are smart enough and by even adolescents, because there is such thing as 16-year-olds having sex, and you need condoms and birth control. There's underage sex, clearly. You have a mindset to do that. You have the cognitive ability to say, I want to do this. The answer is fucking no. You're a kid. You're a fucking kid. You don't need to be doing that. So the show is a sham. It's Netflix selling you lies, saying that this was just basically showing you and reporting about how the hardships of being a young female and trying to grow up, this, that, and the other, and the dangers it comes and across of just doing bad things and realizing eventually they were wrong. I didn't see the movie. I don't want to. I let Ben Shapiro explain it because I trust him, and he didn't see the entirety of the movie. He just saw the ending, which is that the girl realized that what she did was bad, and then she's trying to reclaim her innocence. Okay, cool. I'll take that. Fine by me. I trust the man. He is a father. He is a Judeo-Christian or Jewish. I'm not sure. Hebrew, maybe. But he's a man of God. And I'm with him. I'm a man of God too. Okay, cool. So we're going to be also talking about this one guy. His name is Mrgirl. And so far, from the past almost 24 hours, he's been ridiculed to be a pedophile. Now, I'm not certain where the fuck he stands right now, but later down the video, we might see. And it might look like he's walking on thin fucking ice. And I'm having almost every atom in my body after the video to make a call to the police telling him his YouTube channel. Because from what I know, his information is already being doxxed. And if I get my hands on it, I'm making a call to the police. I don't take pedophilia very kindly. For me, personally, I have been molested when I was 9 years old. I'm telling you guys because it's serious. Shit like this is disgusting. I want kids when I grow up to be a nice financial, stable husband. I want kids of my own. I want to make a family with my girlfriend. So if I get a little emotional and very, very, very rowdy with my wording and say a lot of swearing and whatnot, I'm not going to hold back at all. I don't think I've been ever holding back, but this is something that's personal to me. Because it's like, I may not be a female, but I was a kid at some point, and at some point I was sexually harassed. So this is something that pertains to me. We're going to hear what he has to say, and then we're going to judge him near the end of the fucking video. Let's go.
Hi, cuties.
Hey, honey bun, how was your fucking weekend? I'm sure you haven't seen anything odd. What have you been up to?
Guess what I just watched?
Surely nothing that's under the age or anything that involves exploiting little children now. I'm sure that's not the case. You can't do that. Nah, come on. Nah, it couldn't be fucking that, could it?
So, if you're not familiar, Cuties is a film that Netflix just bought from director Maimouna Doucouré. She's a French woman. And she made this film that has sparked some controversy. Maybe not so much the film itself, but a poster that Netflix made to promote it. As you can see, it's a bunch of 11-year-old girls dancing provocatively. Now, people said that this was Netflix sexualizing children. Other people have said that the film itself is sexualizing children. That's basically akin to child pornography. And that it's, the pedophile left normalizing pedophilia as a legitimate sexual orientation. Hollywood, Pizzagate. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. And then other people are more just kind of more, I think, in my opinion, sanely saying it's exploitative. It's exploiting children. Even if you're making a movie that's about the exploitation of children, you could do it in a way that does not exploit children when you make it.
Netflix was sexualizing children just to get an extra quick buck from another fucking minority group that happened to be fucking pedophiles. If it wasn't bad enough that the left is already intruding people's entertainment with bullshit ideologies such as sending drag queen story time into libraries, local libraries mind you, where kids are at, and having them crawl on their fucking chests for icebreakers. That isn't bad enough, Chief. Tell me fucking more. It is exploiting children. It's softcore child porn. You're having them twerking on screen. They're making these faces. You can't tell me these girls aren't fucking enjoying it. I tell you, they deserve jail time as much as the adults. They deserve juvenile detention and even probably federal prison for young kids. That is me. That is where I'm at. Fucking have them in cuffs. But mind you, this ain't the United States. This shit was filmed in France. No, but Hollywood had something to play in it. No, I mean Netflix is Netflix a U.S. or a Canadian business? It's in the North Americas. Am I not mistaken? So where is the legal representation in all of this? It's being funded probably by Hollywood. Because so far we're still not able to grasp why the fuck the director got away with so much shit. She literally threw in this whole thing about, oh, this was, my life as a teenager and this, that, and the other, and before then. And I'm just like, okay, cool, but why is there kids shaking their asses? You could have easily made something without that. You could have showed a girl getting slapped, and that would have been enough just to tell me about your story and how you grew up. You didn't need to have children twerking, gyrating on the fucking cardboard box outside, or shaking each other's asses on a playground set, or talking to 16-year-old boys while they're 11. You need to really check how you made this fucking film. And Netflix needs to remove it. The fact that they haven't removed it means that they should be terminated. The people who support this film, you should be fucking arrested. And you should be checked. You should be interrogated. And then you should be put on house arrest. And you should tell everyone in your neighborhood who the fuck you are. And that you are registered for a fucking sex offender. Because that's what the fuck you are in my eyes. Do we have an understanding now? Okay, let's continue.
So that's just a little background. That's why I ended up watching this movie. Now, it's a solid film. It's a good movie. Definitely better than most movies. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the movie itself. But right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. And I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total failure in that regard, at least for me. Your mileage may vary.
I pray to God that your mileage may vary is just a joke, because this thing is a pedophilia attractor. It is disgusting. Alright? And I just pray to God that he's not really serious about how good it is at grabbing your attention. Yeah, sure, it may be good to grab all the freaking kitty diddlers. Yeah, sure. Because as long as we can bait them, and we can gather them all in triangulate their locations and have them detained and apprehended so that they don't be around kids, I'm all with you. But we still have to go through the rest of your fucking video. Unfortunately, I'm trying to really cut this up as much as I can so that I don't get a copyright strike from Mrgirl himself. Alright? Because I really want to hear what he has to say. And if it gets any creepier, I will fucking call him a pedophile. I don't give a fuck if he is or isn't. If he says anything that's in an agreement of that show or that movie or whatever the fuck you call it, I'm calling it softcore fucking porn of little children. Because it is. And Netflix has let that shit happen. I will call him a fucking nonce. Because that's how I'm going to see it. Continue talking, Mrgirl.
I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak. As far it's basically, and I'll put some shots, and I'll probably include footage throughout the whole review, but yeah, as far as like sexy music videos go, it's not bad. Are we live? Is this live? Oh, trigger warning, honesty. So is that part of an attempt by the filmmaker to provoke? I'll say this. I don't get the sense that the woman who made this film is... I think she just doesn't pull her punches. I don't think she's trying to titillate simply for the purpose of titillation. If she were, she probably would just cast adults.
Just that alone already justifies my reason why I think that even adolescent kids with a fucking actual cognitive thinking should belong in some kind of juvenile fucking detention. Alright? And that same goes for the adults that engages with kids with these inappropriate behavior that is socially unacceptable. I swear to fucking God. It's things like this why I get so frustrated with just living on the same planet with weirdos, creeps. I swear, it's so it's so fucking bad.
Make her life a lot easier. I think that the film is kind of roping you into the discussion of the sexualization of children by sexualizing children and by making you complicit in that, because the camera forces you to ogle these 11-year-old girls. And so let's put the morality of that aside and just take her art at face value. It's pretty interesting to be forced to do something. It's kind of like The Last of Us too. It's a great game. To be forced to do something that you're uncomfortable with, and to have to grapple with what role you're playing in the creation of the culture that these girls are participating in. And it's real. It's very realistic. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app TikTok. There's some pretty interesting stuff on there that I've checked out, and I recommend you check it out. Girls of all ages are dancing like, and guys are dancing like this. Dances have become more explicitly sexual. But then, I listen to everybody saying these things, and I think we just sound the same as like old fogies did in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, what the fuck if we do sound like we came out of some old-fashioned freaking cartoon show, or that we were like around there in even the 1930s? Maybe, back then they actually knew how to shake each other's hands and say, hey, good old sport, how you doing? Top of the morning, or some fucking bullshit like that. And they weren't really worried about what the fuck their kid is gonna do after hours. Alright, because last time I checked, back then, when my grandparents were growing up, all they did was they played baseball, and then they took their asses right back inside to do their fucking homework, went to bed, and went to school the next day, wash, rinse, repeat. Here we are now because of cultural appropriation and this, that, and the other, because somehow we let these governors in our fucking offices, in our states, and in our towns, and then the people that are voting for them to be in office are these people with these screwed ass fucking mindsets. Alright? And these people that voted for these governors are just using them to prop up their tool and power. Alright? And they're gonna let these little tools, aka the people who voted them in fucking office, to do whatever the fuck they want. And influence the culture that we already have, taint it even further with more degeneracy. So that means that our kids are going to be exploited to more sexual things. It's bad enough we have sexual education. I want that specifically to be left on to the parents. And if parents can't do that, then oh fucking well. Leave that to the next person who is a guardian-worthy person to take care of the child to do such things. We should not leave it to the government to tell our children about sexual education. And on top of that, I don't think it's okay to just be open to this mindset that kids should be okay in setting in this world of sexual dancing, this, that, and the other. I understand that sexual dancing or dancing has become more sexually appealing, this, that, and the other, earlier or later down the lines, the years go on. But for children to see that is not okay, and for them to act in that is not okay. Dance moms is not okay. Beauty pageants is not okay. RuPaul's Drag Race, kids watching that shit, it's not okay. RuPaul's Drag Race is meant for adults. Alright, kids should not be worried about what the fuck they have in between their legs. Alright, they see it, they already know. That's their business. Alright, that's for dad to take Jimmy into the bathroom and say, here son, this is how you use your fucking thing. Alright, now it's all on you. You're 3 years old, you're big enough to stand, use the fucking toilet like a man. If I had a son, I would tell him that, and I'll be on my fucking way. He pissed on the toilet, clean that shit up. That's it. That's all he needs to worry about is junk. He don't need to be worried about whether or not he wants to get it cut off or stick it into somebody else. No little girl should be worried about what the fuck she wants to shove inside of her unless it's her mom telling her how to use a tampon and use it correctly. That is all you need to do, is tell your children how to keep care of themselves, how to have good hygiene. Alright, and they need to be worried about playing Legos and on the PlayStation and doing their fucking homework. Going outside to play and hopefully not being stalked by a bunch of pedophiles. None of that. They just need to be kids. All right, I've seen some shit. My parents have seen some shit. Their parents have seen some shit. My sister has seen some shit. I'm pretty sure my brother has seen some shit, and I certainly don't know about my half brother. My girlfriend has seen some shit. Her brother has been through wars. He's been a child soldier. It's a fucked up world. At least for our kids, we can make sure that their insanity is gone and that their sanity is intact. You see what I'm saying? We need to make sure that they're humble, they're growing up, they understand what the harsh real world is, but they're going out there being brave and understanding and having the fundamentals of reality, having a normal cognitive thinking process and not out there being loony and being fucked up out there in the world doing the same fucked up things that's happened to them. Because how you create more monsters is by being monsters to the younglings. You influence them to do the fucked up shit that you do. That is not okay. Continue talking, fucking idiot.
So, it's interesting to be kind of held accountable by the film, or maybe just informed. I don't know. I the only indicate so there's a scene where they're dancing on stage, and there are these judges that are like frowning, or and like just people in the audience that are frowning. That's the only indication the film gives that this is odd or that they are overly sexualized, and it holds it back. And spoilers! I'm going to spoil the whole movie, by the way. So if you want to watch the movie, just watch the movie. You should watch it. It's good. She holds back the audience reaction until the very end, and you see a lot of people going, oh, this is no good. This is making me uncomfortable. As these girls are doing increasingly provocative and increasingly sexual dance moves, almost to the point where it starts to feel surreal when they're like wiping their hands on their crotches. I think from the back, if memory serves. I'll have to watch it again and again and again. So as a discussion piece, it's pretty interesting. I think that it does give you a lot to talk about and a lot to think about, and it doesn't exactly tell you where to land.
And because it doesn't have any fucking sign saying, okay, let's stop here. What do you think that this little girl should have done right? What should she not have done? And on top of that, what scenario could be different? What is the solution? That would have been a better fucking documentary than what the fuck we got now. What we got is a little freaking softcore poor little fake, step up discount spinoff, but instead it's just little fucking girls that you can easily probably find on the fucking deep web or some shit in France. Because that's what the fuck I'm looking at. I haven't seen the movie. Everything I've seen so far was either from your fucking video, these tiny little clips, or from anywhere else that I'm subscribed to. Also relaying how disgusted they are about the film because they had to watch it in order to have a full review on it. I'm only going by what the fuck you're saying, and I'm already disgusted, my friend. You are on some fucked up shit. You can't even be just serious for once. You can't even just say, oh, I dislike it. No, because you're probably a fucking nonce. It ain't that hard just to say it's disgusting, is it? No, you're literally trying to sit there and balance in the middle whether or not I don't know. Maybe it's just, it is trying to give us, the idea that this, that, and the other. It's like, well, shit, like, you can't make up your mind. It says it's meant for adults. It has an M rating, if I'm not mistaken. And on top of that, it's saying, well, it's not my fault, it's their fault, because, they're the ones who are being sexually explicit. Motherfucker, you're watching it, you clicked on it, you read it, you saw the image on Netflix, you've seen the description, you've seen the rating, and it's up to you. You know how long that shit is, you know how long the show is, you had enough time and awareness to know what the fuck you're doing. You probably know that today is whatever day it is. I'm pretty sure you have the cognitive thinking to know that that's some fucked up shit and that you're in a pile of shit right now because you can't even just say it's disgusting and it's wrong because you're probably into little kids, or you're not there. Perhaps you are, and if you are, I'm fucking killing you. Simple.
And How do we? Children are horny. Little girls are horny, and they want to express that, and we aren't sure how to handle that kind of graceless transition from being 9 to being 13 or 14 or 16. And this film is all about zooming in on that and kind of asking us all what we are doing to participate in this, encourage it, discourage it. It's all shown. So there are characters who ignore her sexuality, like her father. There's a scene where she tries to strip for her father to get him to give her his phone. She steals his phone and she's trying to get him to let her keep it. She starts taking her pants off, and he ignores it and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She responds by taking a picture of her vagina. She responds by taking a picture of her vagina and posting it on Instagram, which we'll get to later. We have characters basically shunning her. Her great aunt and her mother basically do like this exorcism thing where they're trying to like cast her sexuality out of her. Even the girls themselves freak out about their own sexuality in a way where one of the girls finds a condom and is pretending, she thinks it's a balloon. She blows it up and is pretending it's her breast. And then the other girls realize that she's playing with a condom and they say, "It's going to give you AIDS, you're going to die." And then they start scrubbing her tongue with soap. And it's like, it's just a great metaphor for the way that kids want to be sexual and are all about it. And then the like real nitty gritty of sex, the scary parts, are like way, way too overwhelming and terrifying. And it's like a playing with fire thing. So it kind of gives you this jumbled portrait of all the different ways that we respond to the sexuality of young girls. And it juxtaposes these amazing scenes where it's like you'll see the girls playing on a bed where they're stuffing gummy bears in their mouths and they're just totally children. And then you'll see them shaking their booties on this stairway as they make this viral video. And they're pretty hot. And you know, you can say whatever you want about me. It's not my fault. I didn't make them do that. They did that. That's the point. That's the whole point of the movie, is that you're supposed to be sitting there thinking, look at the blonde one.
And this is where I left a comment on his fucking video, and I said, "Listen, buddy, I can't, remember head and toe, but I basically said, my girlfriend's blonde, So imagine if I had a blonde little girl, or a blonde little boy, I'm tan-skinned, my girlfriend, she has fair skin. So, a light-skinned child with blonde hair, if the genes come out that way. Regardless of that, a kid in general, how would I feel knowing that another person who is probably my age or older, staring at my kid, profusely sweating, and have their eyes locked on my child? There's nothing you can do about me killing that person. They do not belong here. They do not belong around kids. They do not belong around anybody. They are a danger to society. And the pedophiles who do call the police and tell them, "Hey, I need to be arrested," thank you for at least taking the initiative and having yourself arrested. Thank you for knowing that you're an endangerment to society and you're putting yourself in custody of the police and that you're staying away from everybody else. I have respect for those people because they know that they are going through something that is completely wrong and they know it. And they can't do nothing about it. They're wired to kids and they want to do something about it. So arresting themselves is the thing. It's the thing about that. These people are trying to do right, knowing that they're wired to have these fucked up sexuality, orientational or whatever freaking, whatever fetishes they fucking have. But the people who are out there literally just sitting at home behind the scenes, literally fapping to whatever thing that we have here that's sitting on Netflix to this day and has not been removed yet, they are the real deceiving motherfuckers. It could be your neighbor Jack from next door. It could be your other neighbor Mrgirl from next door. You don't know. It could be one of your fucking coworkers that you sit at work every day. They could be a pedophile too, but we don't know, right? Because of shit like this, we're just trying to normalize it now. It's trying to get normalized out here. And these and the left, and I'm not saying the right doesn't have their hair share of pedophiles too, but the left is literally trying to normalize this, and it's trickling down in our society in the U.S. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think anybody with the right mindset is. It is fucking disgusting. It is so wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it because Netflix will never get terminated. They are sitting on probably billions of dollars. And Leafy has even like I'll bring him up. I didn't want to, but he said something about burning pedophiles and he got terminated over a lie and someone on Twitter made a comment saying you said that you would hurt protesters. For an example, he was making a joke about burning protesters, but he mentioned pedophiles and he said he would actually burn pedophiles. There is nothing wrong about what he said. It is the truth. I would burn a pedophile too. Get my channel banned. Sue me. Something. I'm sure. And if I do get this channel removed or this video removed or flagged, I will be suing YouTube for billions of fucking dollars just to show that free speech actually fucking means something. And what I'm saying is not fucking lunacy, because anybody with a right mind and who has a child knows what I'm saying is fucking fact. Protect our kids. That is all I have to say. People like this guy right here is a fucking moron. He's a creep. And anybody who does have his information out there, share it with me so I can make a call to the police. Please, I would like to know his real name. I would like to know where the fuck he lives. I want to know where this fucker's at right now. And if anybody out there that has any information, please relay it to me. And also, if you have it, please call the police yourselves on this man. Because things like this is not okay. People like to play around with words. And he really just came out here and said, oh, that's hot. The fuck you mean it's hot? It's a kid. They should be worried about Lakers and Hot Wheels. That's hot. Hot Wheels are hot. You know, when I was a kid, I said, cool, Hot Wheels. I like that shit. Yeah, sure, when I was a kid, yeah, for me, I was looking at big booty-ass teachers that I had growing up going to high school. That's different. Do I grab? No, just window shopping. You get handsy, you get in trouble. Right? Of course. But that's me. My kids should not be really thinking that way. Kids should not really be exploring their sexuality. They should really just be minding their business. They should really just worry about what they're doing in school. School! That is all they need to be fucking worried about. I'm done ranting. I'm done video. Again, if you have his information, call the fucking police. And if anybody out there tries to attack you for getting after this man, call the police on them too for defending him. Because they're defending pedophilia. This is Foxy Spinks. I'm out.